Okay, so almost set for the Insta live. I hope I'm audible. If anybody can confirm me through a comment or something, that would be great, or through a question or with some love. Okay, so I think I'm good to go and audible to all of you. Okay, perfect. Okay, we wait for one more minute and then we start exactly at 7:30. Okay, so it's sharp 7:30. So let's start today's Insta live on, I believe, one of the most important topic for entrepreneurs, which is time and money management. But yeah, before I start, a happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. I know a lot of you are celebrating the festival today, and you guys have taken out time, to be here live. So thank you so much for that. And I hope all of you had a great day and a great Sunday. Okay, so I'm perfectly audible. I got a confirmation. Perfect sound. Okay, so yeah, I was telling that I believe that time and money management is one of the most important topics. So I was thinking last 2 weeks, what topic should I talk about next? And I was just going through my journey of last 4 5 years, and I asked myself that what actually helped me, to achieve some kind of success or certain success, which I call it as basically. And when I went deeper into it, I figured out that these two factors played a very very crucial role in wherever I am or a lot of entrepreneurs are today. And sadly, I believe almost everybody, 95% population is facing a challenge, to be effective with time and to be effective with money. Okay, so I got a lot of questions, from a lot of people. Few of them were similar, few of them were unique. So I have shortlisted few questions which I wanted to address today, and I've written them down, and I'll go one by one. But before I pick my first question and start talking about it, now I want to tell something common for the entire topic. Now, what I learned, from my mentors and my coach, in last 4 5 years, is time and money are two most important buckets. Okay, now I agree that not everybody, was born with equal money, right? Some of us were born rich, some of us were born middle class, some of us poor, upper middle, lower middle, how much ever you qualify, right? So I agree that the money that we had, when we started our journey of life, or when we graduated, was not same for everybody, right? Depending on the parents and the background. But I believe the other factor, which is time, was equal for all of us, right? Where you have 24 hours, you have into 60 minutes, and you have into 60 seconds. So the time bucket is equal for all of us, right? And when I understood this, and when I figured it out, and when I went through few journey of a lot of entrepreneurs, I realized that everybody who's successful today, okay, now whatever is your definition of success, right? I think the first thing they conquered was to manage time effectively, right? Because if you fail to manage your 24 hours effectively, and if you spend that time on things which are not important at this point of time, then you will keep working for rest of your life just to find time for yourself. So that's very ironic, right? That we want time in life to spend with our loved ones, and we are wasting time on other things today, and then we keep doing the same thing for next 30 40 years, 50 years, and then end of the day we ask that we never had time to spend with our parents, with our siblings, with our husband, wife, with our children, whatever you call it, right? So time is a common factor, right, which all of us have equally. And when it comes to money, guys, okay, what I've understood is money is an emotion, you get my point, right? And either you control, or you handle money effectively or well, or money will handle you effectively, you get my point? So it's like an emotion, right? So either you conquer money and you control it, where you spend the way you want and you use it the way you want, rather than letting money control you later. And what do I mean by it? Basically that then when you don't have enough money, then you are forced to compromise, you are forced to adjust, and you're forced to do things which you don't want to do, just because you did not manage your money effectively when you had to manage it, when you had time to do that. So this would be something common which I would want to address to all of you, and if we understood this, then we need to start applying this immediately. Okay, now my first question which I got from one of the users, so I'll not be taking any names today, okay, is the first question somebody wanted to know was basically, that how to manage your money effectively, whatever money you are making, whether you are making 50 lakhs, 50,000, 5 lakhs, whatever you call it, per year, per month, okay, how to use it effectively. Now, yes, even I had a challenge, in managing my money effectively when I was working in Deloitte, because nobody taught me, correct, because I was not working with somebody who was successful or who was good with money, right? Now, but the moment I started this journey of entrepreneurship, my coach, my mentor taught me a simple formula of how to manage money effectively. Now, my coach gave me a 50 20 20 10 rule, or I call it 10 20 20 50 rule, to manage your money effectively. Okay, now the first thing you guys need to understand, okay, that whatever money we make, okay, the CTC you call it in a job, or whatever money you earn as a profit in a business, or the commissions that you make, okay, now there is some part of money which is never yours. Okay, now we all pay a by default tax which every country pays, is called as inflation, now which varies from year to year, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%. So I usually call it average 5 to 7%. There's an inflation which everybody pays, okay, and then you by default fall into a tax bracket of a minimum, let's say 10%, for whatever you're doing, whether you're doing a job, whether you're doing a business, after a certain basic capital. Okay, that means 10% of whatever you earn is never yours. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is, आप जो भी पैसा कमाते हो, 10% of that is not yours. Okay, that's the first thing. So what I did, or what I learned was, so let's say if I make 1 lakh per month, that's an input to my account, I put 10,000 aside, or I don't count it at all, because that is not my money. That will be inflation, that will be tax, that will be GST, might be if you are operating in a business or whatever you call it, right? And if you enter spirituality, 10% money is always guru's money, right? That you have to give, that you have to do charity with, a social service, right? So 10% of money is never yours. So let's say out of 1 lakh, 10,000 you removed. I mean, you have discounted, you're not counting it. Okay. Now, what I tell people is, whomever I work with, is open 3 bank accounts. Now, because we are not good with handling money, there's a different strategy. Open 3 bank accounts. Okay. Now, your account in which you get the money credited is, let's say, your first account, and then you have 2 more accounts. Now, what you do is, the moment you get 1 lakh credited into your account, what you have to do is, you transfer 20% to account number 2. Immediately, 20,000, no questions asked. So let's say if you got a salary on 31st, or if you want your profit or earning, whatever you call it, you immediately transfer 20% to the account number 2. And that 20% money I categorize as your emergency funds, okay, or a rainy day money. You get my point? Or a financial crisis or a medical crisis. Okay, so you need to put 20% money aside every week, every month, whenever you make a profit, so that in long run, whenever you have a financial crisis or whatever you call it, you get my point, you take care of it basically. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, then your account number 3 is where you transfer another 20% money. Okay, so another 20,000 out of 1 lakh, and that account I call it as your long-term goals or your investments. Okay, now investments up to you. Different people have different approaches. Few people go for stocks, few people go for mutual funds, few people go for properties, few people buy different assets. So it depends on you. What are you looking for? Or it can be your long-term goals also. So like an entrepreneur, right? Let's say by the end of 2021, I want to buy this, a significant size, right? So then I need to allocate 20% money every month, every week to that money. So that account number 3, where I put my another 20,000 out of 1 lakh, is my long-term goals or is my investment. So which I'm using to make more money basically. Okay, and now you're left with 60,000, which is 60%, out of which I already told you 10% don't count it. It's like inflation, taxes and all of that. Now you are left with 50%. Now you're supposed to manage all your expenses, all your EMIs, all your immediate or temporary desires, whatever you want to do in that 50% money. Okay, so out of 1 lakh, you need to ensure that 50,000 is the bracket where your life runs in a month. Okay, and 20% goes to long-term investments, long-term goals, and another 20% goes for your emergency funds or long term savings for a rainy day, and 10% is a discounted. Okay, now that is how you become effective with money. But it is very, very difficult, because I said money is like emotion, right? Money controls you, right? So what you do is you end up taking out money from your account 2 or account 3, and you spend on your immediate or temporary desires, right, which is not helping you in long run. You get my point? So that needs to be taken care. But yes, let's say if you want to, if your expenses are more, as on today, if you have more EMIs, if you have more things to take care, then obviously you need to increase your bracket. So you need to earn more from 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs, so that your 50,000 becomes 75,000, and that takes care of your everything. Now you might be asking, but how should I increase my income, from 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs? Now I understand what you're asking, right? But that depends on you. If you really want to do that, you need to do a job, or if you're doing already a job, then do something more than that, right? Otherwise, figure out something, choose a business or become an entrepreneur and take that risk. But let me tell you a reality, guys. If you end up spending more than 50% on your regular expenses, and if you don't allocate those 20% into account 2, account 3, you will always be facing crisis of money. Correct? And you will never invest money, you will never make assets, you will never have emergency funds, and you will always feel like you're broke. Okay, which is not a good scenario to be part of. I hope you guys agree, right? So that's the way you effectively handle money. So I hope I answered the first question. And I give one more technique, to handle this. So the account 2 and account 3 which you open, right? Just have input to that account. Don't have a debit card or a credit card or a net banking, so that it kinds of restrict you to spending money very easily, right? So have one primary account where you have everything. Account 2, account 3, only input goes, and you only use it for your long-term goals, your money investments, and your emergency. As simple as that. So that's how you manage money effectively. That's my first answer. Okay. So now another person asked me this question basically. Okay, that how to manage time when I'm working in a corporate. Okay, and he mentioned Deloitte. So I also come from Deloitte in past, right? So how to manage time for business or for entrepreneurship when I'm already working in Deloitte, when I have long hours or busy season. Now I completely feel you, whoever has sent this question, okay, because I was also there. I worked in Deloitte, and I had busy seasons where we used to clock 100 hours per week also. But now let me tell you something, okay. Now see, first of all, you need to make a decision, okay, that what is more important for you and what is more long run. Now if you want to grow in Deloitte, if you want to build your career over there, then be okay with it. But if you have taken a decision that that is not where I want to grow, and I want to have something of my own, then obviously you cannot overcommit yourself, okay, to something which you don't want to do for long run. Now that's called as managing your expectations, okay, with whomsoever is concerned. So when I was in Deloitte, 5 years back, and when I started this journey, so I also had my 11 to 8 timing, okay, and then I had to give couple of hours to business to start with for first 6 months before I quit job. And yes, I also had long working hours. But the first thing which I did was, once I started this journey, I went and had a word with my manager in a very good way. And I told him, listen, so far I was only working with Deloitte and I did not have any other commitments or expectations. So I gave you my 100%. But now I have something else in my plate. So sorry, but I cannot give you more than 8 to 9 hours, okay, because that's what I signed up for, right? I mean, that's what the agreement was for, that work for 8 to 9 hours and you get this much salary. So when anyways they are not paying you more, then why are you working more, is my honest question, in a very humble way, right? So I went and set the expectations that I cannot work after 8 o'clock. I have to leave because I have something more important to address. Now whatever is the reason, now if you want to make an excuse, you tell family problem something, but I was very honest. I said I'm working on something else, I need time for myself. And so I used to log out exactly 8 o'clock and go for my business because that was more important for me. And I was very, very clear. And what I did was, I told them very, very clearly, I'll not be taking extra projects, I'll not be doing extra work, because mentally I was clear I don't want to grow here. So why should I try to impress the management when I know I'm not gonna be there for long? You get my point, guys? So usually we overcommit or we do extra things when we want to grow there. So when I took a decision, I don't want to grow there, I want to do something else, which I'm very, very clear. So let's manage the expectations, and you just have to sail through it for 6 months to 1 year. Now here a conflict comes, okay? Now a lot of people want to be in both the boats for a long time. That's a stupidity, right? What I suggest is, once you started something, you took a decision, take a decision and give a deadline to yourself. So let's say if it's the month of August, you tell, okay, by December I want to quit my job, an example, right? So for next 5 months or 4 months, I will slog, I will work hard, I will not look at clock and time. From evening 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock till late night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I will work. I'll stretch myself like a rubber for next 5 months, but then I quit the job after 5 months. Perfect. And then you have 24 hours for yourself. You don't have to manage your time along with your job and for your business or for your passion, whatever you call it. But yes, there will be 6 months or 1 year of patch, a stretch where you will have to, go like a rubber band, right? Where it will be difficult, it will be hard, and your brain will start talking to you that, arey yaar, why am I doing extra work? Let me go back to normal life. Now it's a choice, like I said. So this can be managed if you have taken a decision that what is your ultimate goal and ultimate destination. But if you're still confused that do I want to grow in Deloitte or something else, then you'll always face a challenge of managing time into two different things. Let me tell you, you cannot be perfect, or you cannot give your best to two things at a time. I don't believe in that. I believe give your 100% to one thing, become a perfection, right? Go all in, and then once you have reached a certain stage, then do something else. That's a better way, right? So that at least you are hero in one thing. What's the point of being, average in 5 things? Doesn't make sense, right? So that's what I believe in. So that would be my answer to the second question, okay? That how to manage time effectively along with working hours of corporate, Deloitte basically, okay? Now, another question which I got basically is, now this is a very interesting question. It came from somebody very close to me, but I'm not taking the name again. So the question is basically, how do you manage all of this? या तो फैमिली को टाइम दो or you earn money. So basically the question was, right, so usually there is a conflict, right, that you're not giving time to your family, right, you're working so much, right, and all of that. So the question is basically either we give time to family or we earn money. We choose one of them, right? So how do we figure this out, or how do we have clarity? Now see, it's a mindset game, okay? Now how do I look at it? I'll tell you, okay, my answer to this. Now understand, whatever we are doing today, right, whatever work you are doing, job, business, freelancing, any profession, artist, end of the day you're working for yourself and your family only, right? So that if you become successful, if you are financially good, and if things are taken care, correct, and then you will be more eligible, more capable to give everything to your family, whether it's your parents, whether it's your husband, wife, whether it's your siblings, whether it's your kids, right? Then why is there a confusion or a conflict that family को time दो या पैसा कमा लो? आप पैसा family के लिए कमा रहे हो ना? So now you need to understand the fact that you cannot choose both. You cannot say that I want to look good also and then I want to be successful also. It doesn't work like that. Yes, your family will have an expectations that give me time, give me weekend, you get my point, we need to go out every week or every month. I understand, nothing wrong in that, right? Because they want to spend time with you. But you also are doing this so that everybody lives a better life, agree or not? And you are taking the charge. So for some point of time in your life, you need to come to an agreement with yourself that there will be little less of personal life. Now, which when people define it as personal life or a family life, right? Because your goal is to become successful first. And what I always tell is, let's say if you work hard for 4-5 years, if you become successful, if you have created a pipeline of money and time, then do whatever you want to do. Then there is no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day is the same day, right? So let's say today, if you want to go out and if you're already successful, right, then every day is a Sunday, right? So then you don't have to wait for Saturday, Sunday to chill. Monday morning also you can chill. It's a choice that you have, agree or not? But for that, you need to convince yourself and make your family understand that I'm doing this for you. Now, a lot of time, we don't try to make them understand. We expect them to understand. There's a difference, right? Now, you have to sit with them. You have to make them understand. Okay, listen, I'm doing this for you. I'm working hard for you, okay? So please give me some time. Let me do this. Now, I'll give you a parallel to this. Now, a lot of us on this call or people who have done CA, who have done CS, who have wrote some state competitive exam, you get my point. Let's say you did MBA, Masters, right, whatever you did. तब क्या हुआ था? When you were doing CA for 3, 4, 5 years, there was no family time, right? When you were doing CS for 2-3 years, if you were very serious about it, there was no family time. When you went to masters for MBA, for masters or MBA to US or Canada or wherever people go usually, right? Where was the family time? So you told yourself that for next 2 years, I am going to work hard because I want to be a CA or a CS or a MBA or a master or achieve this or be a state rank holder, correct? So that time you agreed, right? And your family also agreed because they understood what you want to achieve. Now what happens is when you start working, especially in business and entrepreneurship, this challenge comes, okay? Because entrepreneurs have to work 7 days a week for the first couple of years of their life. Because if you work for 5 to 7 years or 8 years for 7 days a week, then you have 20-30 years of freedom. So you have to explain, you have to show them the bigger picture, you have to make them understand that we will be spending quality time over quantity. And then also, you have to take out some time once a month, right, and spend that quality time. You get my point? So that they are also happy and you are also happy, correct? But the most important thing is, are you okay with it? Or is it your problem that you don't want to work harder and you are justifying that my family has a problem? You get my point? And that is very, very important, okay? So I believe, why would family have a problem? Your family wants to see you successful, right? It's okay, they might be unhappy with you for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Do one thing, for that 6 months work hard when they are unhappy and sad, do something great, achieve something and make them happy with the output or the result. Buy something for them, give them something, take them out for a vacation, right? Because when they see the result is coming, nobody would have any problem, to let you work harder. Because when I also started, for first 6 months, 1 year, I had to manage my job, I had to manage business, I had to manage family expectation. It was difficult. But when they started seeing the results and output, they understood. And today they don't have any problem. You get my point? Because now they know what is more important for me and for everybody. So it's about what is important. And if you're good with this, then life is easy. So that would be my answer, that family or money, or how do you manage family? Family ko time do ya paisa kama lo, one of the. I think both are same because you're doing it for family end of the day. Okay. So another question comes here is basically, how do you, quality work in less time and energy so that I can do better, okay? So basically it's talking about, how can we be more effective with the work that we are doing, okay? Now, so this is something, where we need to manage our priorities very, very well, okay? So what happens with a lot of people is, when you start your day, you don't know what is important and what is priority of today, right? And hence what happens is, out of 24 hours, lot of time goes into doing things which are not important today, right? And at times we waste 2-3 hours just like that, trying to figure out kya karna kya hai. I mean, you just got up and now you're still thinking, what to do now, because you don't know what is priority for today or what is important. Now the best way to handle this is, before you sleep in the night, okay, now this is what I practice and I make people practice this whom I work with, okay? When you sleep in the night, before that, take out a pen and a paper or a book or your mobile phone or whatever you call it in the notes, and write down the top 3 or 5 things as an entrepreneur that are important and that you need to do tomorrow. That will be your first task, okay? So you need to write it down in the night, sleep with that, and the moment you get up and once you finish all your routine activities for 1.5 hour breakfast and you're ready and all of that, so let's say it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, now you take out that book or your phone and open the notes and you read your top 3 or 5 tasks which were important for today, and first you finish that, okay, right? And I usually tell, finish your important task preferably before lunch only, okay, preferably before lunch only, given it is possible to do before lunch, okay? So that, now understand, if before 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, if you have already addressed the top 3 or 5 things which are important for today, now you have another 10 hours from afternoon 1 o'clock till night 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock to do lot of things. And now you can do lot of extra stuff, correct? But if you don't finish your top 3 important things in the first half of the day, what will happen is, by evening or by night, you're still not happy because something is still pending, right? And what we do is, we end up, just a second, how do you, okay, right. And what happens is basically now you end up spending time on lot of urgent things that come your way, which was not part of your day. You understand? Now I understand few things are unavoidable, like a medical emergency or something very, very important. But my question is, why do you become part of somebody else's agenda? Now you become part of somebody else's agenda when you don't have your own agenda. Okay, because you don't have a plan, you don't know what you have to do. So what happens is, if somebody comes and tell you, hey bro, let's go out, or let's do this, or can you help me with this work, and because you're anyway sitting idle, you don't know what to do, you end up becoming part of somebody else's agenda. Uska to kaam ho raha hai, correct or not? But who is wasting time here? You are wasting time. But let's say if you have your own agenda, then what you would do, you will first address or finish your important things, and then when you have extra time, you can spend for things which are not so important at this point of time, right? So I learned this quadrant concept, okay, which my mentor has taught me. So if you have a quadrant, 4 quadrants, so there are 4 kinds of things. So first is important, urgent. Second is important, not urgent. Third is not important, urgent, and fourth is not important and not urgent. Now the mistake that a lot of people do is you address important and urgent, okay, always, and that is why you go with the flow at times, or you become somebody else's agenda. Now what I learned is your priority should be important and not urgent, okay, because when you do things which are important on time, nothing will become urgent, okay. But because you don't do things which are important when they are supposed to be done, eventually they become urgent for you. I hope you guys understand. I'll repeat this once again, okay. When you do things which are important then and there, then nothing becomes urgent. You get my point? But when you don't address important things at the right time, then they become urgent in your life, and then you keep running behind urgent things, and then everything becomes or pile up into urgent wala bucket because you did not address important things at the right point of time. Correct? So that would be my answer, okay, that first of all, make your agenda, prioritize your day, don't become part of somebody else's agenda, and write down top 3 or 5 things before you sleep, and the moment you get up and you're ready, first watch that, read that basically, and then start working on that. Try to complete it before lunch. That is the best way to do it, I would say, okay. So that would be my answer for that. So I've answered how to manage money, I've answered how to manage time with working hours, Deloitte, how to be effective, and this. Okay, so one more interesting question now. This again has been asked by somebody whom I know. How to manage personal time, family time, work time, being an entrepreneur. Okay. So this becomes a challenge when there is still a confusion in your head. Ki, there is personal time also, there is family time also, and there is work time also. Now see, this is usually applicable when you're doing a job, okay, but when you're working on something of your own, when you're creating something for yourself, then there is nothing called as personal time or a family time or work time or a business time, entrepreneurship time, because business is part of your life, entrepreneurship is part of your life. And when your business becomes part of your life, I always tell this, right, when business becomes part of your life, then you would not try to find a separate time, to spend some time with myself or to spend some time with somebody else. So there's a confusion here, right? So, and you need to tell yourself, okay, that again, like I said before, okay, you are doing all of this so that you have more of personal time and family time eventually later, okay. So you have to sacrifice a little bit of personal time and family time in the initial days of your journey of entrepreneurship to have more of it later. As simple as that. And let me tell you, what is personal time and family time? I prefer in quality over quantity, first thing. Second, lot of people waste time into unnecessary things, and that's why they are not able to justify the expectations of their family. Now let me be very honest to you, okay, nothing against anybody, but we spend 2 to 3 hours in watching TV, reading newspaper, at times going through Facebook, Instagram, unless until it's very important, right? And also watching today's all the platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all of that. Now let me ask you very honestly, correct, why are you spending 1 to 3 hours over there? Is that really important? That series, that particular show, that particular movie? Fine, do it once a month to feel fresh or to feel good. But if you really want to be successful, then you cannot tell that I want to watch a series also, I want to watch this movie also every Friday, I want to watch this season also, but I want to be successful also. It doesn't work like that. All the successful people today, they sacrificed couple of things for at least 5 to 10 years of their life, and that is why today they have all the time that they can sit for 24 hours and watch a series. You get my point? So that is a better situation, right? So my question to you is basically, ask yourself how much of time you're wasting onto things which are not important today, right? And then justifying in the night, or not happy in the night that, oh, I did not give time to my family or myself. Okay, don't waste time into unnecessary things, right? And then you have a lot of time. 24 hours is more than enough to do a lot of things. A lot of people sleep a lot, okay, now because they believe doctor said sleep for 8 to 10 hours. Sorry, it's a wrong theory. You get my point? Please work on it. It's enough if you sleep for 6 hours also. Okay, there are people who sleep less than that and they're still good and healthy, right? So I say sleep for 6 to 7 hours maximum. 6 hours I would say. Take 2 hours for freshen up and all the recreation activities, right? Let's say if you're doing a job, 8 hours, traveling 2 more hours might be. So how much time? 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 6, 16, 16 plus 2, 18. You still got 6 more hours left. Okay, you spend 2 more hours in lunch, breakfast, dinner, all of that you do. You still got 4 more hours. That is more than enough for you to do something worth it. So it's all about managing, cutting down things which are not important, sleeping little less. When I say less, enough 6 hours, not 8 to 10 hours, okay? And then not wasting time or spending time on watching things which are not important today. Again, don't take it personally, it's your choice, right? But if you want to be successful, then you have to give up on all of that for some point of time, okay? So that would be my answer for personal time, family time and work time, okay? So since it's time up, so I'll answer the last question, okay? One last question. So somebody asked me this just 1 hour back, okay, that how to have a money attracting mindset, okay? Now this is a very interesting question, and how to have a money attracting mindset, okay? Now I say I would answer this in a very simple way. Now see, the challenge why a lot of people don't have enough money is somewhere they have been conditioned with wrong thought process. You get my point? And what happens is basically they deny money, okay? So they have this conflict of thoughts that money is not good, money is evil, money is a reason for all fights. If you are working for money, then you are greedy, so don't be greedy. So a lot of this conflict of thoughts have been given to us when we were raising up, when we were growing up, because of our family or people around us. But that's a wrong thought process, because like I said, money is just an object and an emotion. You get my point? It depends on you how you use money. So I would say money attracting mindset starts from first welcoming money. It's like Lakshmi ji ko welcome karna bolte na, theek hai? It's very important, because a lot of people tell no, I don't want a lot of money, I am happy with what I'm doing. So God is also telling that when you are subconsciously and consciously telling to the universe that you don't want a lot of money, money will not come to you, correct? Not, and asking money is not wrong, correct, when you are working hard for it and when you are doing something for it. So yes, spend 10-15 minutes a day in visualization, in affirmations, right? In writing good stuff, and in telling yourself that I love money also. It's a good affirmation to be written, right? Along with health, abundance, prosperity, relationship, family, all of that. So go for affirmations, go for visualization, but first of all, remove this conflict of thoughts about money which we have been given. And I have a best solution for it, okay? I came across this video, okay, which is available on YouTube, which I would suggest to all of you to go through this. It's called Secrets of Millionaire Mindset. It's there on YouTube, Secrets of Millionaire Mindset. I would highly recommend all of you to watch that video. Okay, it's by T. Harv Eker. Okay, so the video is made by T. Harv Eker, and Secrets of Millionaire Mindset. Now, when I watched that video 5 years back, it changed my furniture completely, guys. So I would recommend all of you to watch that video tonight only if you can, or tomorrow whenever you want to understand what mindset you need to carry, what thought process you need to carry to attract abundance. to attract prosperity, to attract good relationship, and that is very, very important. Because if you don't have good affirmations, good visualization and good mindset, then sorry to tell you, no matter how hard you work, no matter how good your skill set is, no matter whether you slog for 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, you will never have enough, or I would say abundance of anything, because you don't have a right mindset and you're not sending right signals to universe. And universe only gives when you ask. God and universe have it in abundance. Okay guys, please understand. Okay, why only Ambani should have all the money, or why only Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos should have? Just because they ask. Or why only Shah Rukh Khan? Go and ask those people. They do affirmation, they do visualization, right? And they keep asking for this 24/7. Okay, so start doing it from tomorrow. Spend 10-15 minutes on affirmation, visualizations, right? And watch this video, and you see result will start coming in couple of months for sure. But yes, work for it. Don't tell me I just did affirmation and visualization and then I slept for whole day and I was lazy enough and I want the output. It will not happen. So do the affirmation, do the subconscious thing, and then do the conscious thing. So subconscious thing is this, and conscious thing is working for it. And when you do this, output will come. Okay, so that would be my answer to the last question. So I think we are running little over time, and it's already so I think I have addressed 4 to 5 good questions related to time and money management, and I hope I answered majority of the common questions that usually people have. That's what I choose basically. So I hope you all got the answers, and thank you for being here and listening to me. If you have any more questions related to this topic, surely you can shoot them, and I would be more than happy to answer them personally. So thank you so much. Happy Raksha Bandhan once again to all of you. Have a great day, have a great evening, and take care, stay safe in COVID, and we'll meet you soon sometime later in next couple of weeks on next Instagram live. Thank you so much. Love you. Take care.